Don't lose sight of your purpose. The Garden Destruction Tale, Buddhist past life story. Have you ever been so focused on doing things efficiently that you overlooked something crucial and failed? For instance, implementing a new system at work to increase productivity, only to find that its complex settings and operation manual actually slow down your work. Or perhaps, in an attempt to finish household chores quickly, you've overloaded your washing machine, leading to malfunction or incomplete cleaning. While the desire for efficiency isn't wrong in itself, when taken too far, it can sometimes have the opposite effect. Today, I'd like to share with you a Buddhist tale from ancient India called The Garden Destruction Story. This story humorously yet poignantly illustrates the foolishness of causing great loss despite good intentions. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do things well and efficiently. But what happens when we take this thinking too far? Let's open the door to this story. The story. One day, the Buddha was visiting a village in the kingdom of Kosala. The owner of the largest estate in the village had invited the Buddha and his disciples to visit his garden. The well-maintained garden was beautiful, with trees growing thick and tall, creating cool, pleasant shade. However, there was one peculiar bare patch amidst all this greenery. "Why is nothing growing in this spot?" the disciples asked the gardener. The gardener replied with an unexpected answer. "Well, you see, a young apprentice gardener overthought what he believed was the correct way of watering." Hearing this, the Buddha began to tell a story of something that had happened long ago in Varanasi. In ancient times, when King Brahmadatta ruled Varanasi, the city was preparing for a grand festival. People were excited about the music and dance, making preparations for celebrations everywhere. In the royal garden lived many monkeys. They made their home there, sustaining themselves on the fruits and young shoots the garden provided. This garden was their precious habitat. The garden's caretaker thought to himself, "I want to enjoy the festival too. But someone needs to water the garden while I'm away. Oh, perhaps I could ask the monkeys who live here to help." With this idea in mind, he approached the leader of the monkeys with his tools. "This garden is a precious place for you all, providing you with the bounty of its trees. I'll be away for 7 days. Could you please water the young trees during that time?" The monkey leader replied proudly, "Leave it to us. This garden is important to us too. We'll make sure to water everything properly while you're away," he answered with a confident expression. Delighted, the gardener handed over the water jars and watering cans to the monkeys. Before heading off to the festival, the monkeys promptly began watering the trees in the garden. Suddenly, the monkey leader called out, "Everyone, gather around." The monkey leader assembled his companions as if he had made a great discovery. "Water is a precious resource," he declared. "If we use it carelessly, it will run out quickly. So, here's what we'll do. We'll pull up each sapling to check its roots. The ones with large, deep roots will get plenty of water, while the ones with small roots will only need a little. This way, we can raise them efficiently while conserving water." The monkeys, impressed by this logic, followed his instructions diligently. And so they began pulling up saplings one after another. "This tree has long roots, so it needs lots of water. This one has short roots, so just a little will do." The saplings, repeatedly pulled up and replanted, became damaged and weakened each time. Roots were exposed everywhere, the soil was disturbed, and the saplings began to droop lifelessly. At this moment, a wise man happened to visit the garden. This sage was none other than the Bodhisattva, who would later become the Buddha. Witnessing the monkeys' actions, he called out to them, "Why are you pulling up these saplings? We're watering them using the correct method our leader taught us." The monkeys replied proudly. The wise man's face grew sad, and he sighed deeply. "I understand your intentions, but isn't the original purpose to help these saplings grow strong? Pulling them up by the roots only weakens them. While I understand your desire to conserve water, this approach defeats the purpose. Your good intentions have ended up causing harm." The monkeys were shocked by these words, but it was already too late. The carefully nurtured saplings had all withered away, and so, the monkey leader's correct method of watering resulted in destroying the precious saplings. Using this incident as an example, the wise man taught them that, while proper knowledge and methodology are important, we must not lose sight of the essential purpose of our actions before leaving the garden. When the Buddha finished his tale, he said, "The young apprentice gardener who is now pulling up saplings was the monkey leader in his past life, and I was the wise man who advised the monkeys." Thus, the Buddha gently taught a lesson to humans who repeatedly fail by pursuing misguided methods. So how does this apply to our lives today? What are our modern equivalents of watering? Lessons for modern life. This garden destruction tale might seem like a simple story of failure at first glance, but it contains an important message for us in the contemporary world. In the story, the monkey leader was entrusted with watering the saplings for their healthy growth. That was the original purpose. While his idea of using water efficiently seemed clever, he became so fixated on this method that he lost sight of the primary goal. He even went as far as choosing the destructive approach of pulling up trees to check their roots. How does this relate to our modern lives? Consider, for example, implementing a new system at work. Someone might rush to introduce it based on the surface level knowledge that this system will centralize data management and improve efficiency. However, without properly understanding the essential factors, implementation costs, time needed for training, compatibility with existing operations, chaos ensues in the workplace, actually increasing workload and mistakes. The end result directly contradicts the original goal of improving operational efficiency. What's needed here is not just acquiring the right knowledge about the system, but also keeping sight of the initial objectives, streamlining operations, and reducing mistakes. A step-by-step implementation while listening to feedback from the field. The more haste, less speed approach becomes crucial. This happens in household situations too. Take someone who starts optimizing household chores with the goal of spending quality time with family. However, they become so absorbed in time-saving techniques and storage solutions that these methods become the goal themselves. They might get caught up in batch cooking, filling the refrigerator to capacity, only to end up wasting food because they can't eat it all, or buying groceries in bulk that spoil before they can be used. Does this sound familiar? Family members might comment that meals have become somewhat bland lately due to efficiency-focused cooking and presentation. Excessive focus on time saving might lead to standardized meals that ignore family preferences and health conditions. Trying one new method after another until exhaustion sets in, creating rigid rules that constrain family life. Before you know it, you've drifted far from the original purpose of quality family time. What this 2,500-year-old story teaches us is the importance of not losing sight of our fundamental purposes, and that the methods and means we use to achieve these purposes must always align with our original goals. In our daily lives, we often unconsciously turn efficiency, optimization, and improvement, which should be means to an end, into ends themselves. Sometimes we need to pause and remember, what was my original purpose? This isn't necessarily about avoiding the pursuit of efficiency, but rather about reconsidering everything in light of our original purpose. Surely, we all have moments of revelation like this story in our daily lives. When you find yourself getting carried away with efficiency and improvements, potentially losing sight of what's truly important, perhaps this 2,500-year-old story will come to mind. On our channel, Buddhist Stories Illuminating the Heart, we share wisdom for enriching modern life through the Buddhist tales. If this story has resonated with you and provided some insights, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us share these stories with more people. We look forward to bringing you another story to illuminate your heart in our next video. Thank you for watching.